Hello, welcome to the New Vocations virtual tour. We're just going to give this car a chance to pass. I'd like to welcome everyone to our 1 o'clock virtual tour. We've been doing these virtual tours every Wednesday for the past, 8, maybe this is 9 weeks, not sure. We appreciate everyone that has joined us during that time, whether you're watching it live or watching it after we've taped it. We hope you've enjoyed some of these tours. Our goal is to give everyone that would like to see a little bit of behind the scenes and what goes on here on a daily basis a chance to see that. So just waiting a couple minutes as we have people joining. Feel free to put any questions or comments that you want in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them as we go along. My name's Anna Ford. I'm the New Vocations Thoroughbred Program Director. And today what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of a driving tour. It's kind of cold. We got spoiled with the 80-degree temperature, and now it's 55. So thought I'd do a little bit in the car, show you the scope of our facility here at the beautiful Meris Farm, and talk a little bit about our history. And yes, if you have questions, please let us know. So it's kind of hard to see, but the sign here says Meris Farm. We're currently on Dolan Lane here in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm going to try to drive slower because the last time I did this, I was told I drove way too fast. So here we go. And so, yeah, we are on Dolan Lane. And this is the view I have every day that I drive into work. And it is absolutely heaven. I thank God every day that I drive to work this way. It's kind of like a tunnel into heaven, I say. And on both sides of us is Meris Farm. It's a 1,200-acre farm that was founded by Walter Salmon back in the 1920s, and it's been passed down to his son, and then from his son to his son's daughter, so his granddaughter, who was Susan Donaldson, and she passed away in 2011 and left the whole farm and all the horses in her foundation called the Susan Donaldson Foundation. And so we've been lucky enough here at New Vocations. We started partnering with them in 2013. And then they generously gave us a free lease of land here on this beautiful farm of over 150 acres, where we built state-of-the-art retraining facility. And that is where we do the majority of our retraining. But we also have a barn that I'm going to take us to first that was pre-existing, and it's one of the older barns here at Meris Farm. It's called the Williams Barn, and we have all of our horses that need rehab before they go into training there. Here to your right, you can see that's actually one of the hay fields. The farm grows anywhere from 15 to 25,000 bales of hay a year, and we're lucky enough that we get to feed our horses that hay, which is very great. There's a hay barn here to your right. And a big storage barn on the left, that's where they keep all the tractors. So now we're coming into our main training facility here on the left. All of the fencing that you'll see that's part of New Vocations property is the fencing that's it's called Red Brand fencing. It's a wire mesh. And then to the right, the 3-board fencing is Meris Farm's side of the farm. So just to step back a little bit, if you're just joining us, here at New Vocations, our mission is to rehab, retrain, and rehome retired racehorses. We take in both thoroughbreds and standardbreds, and we're serving over 500 horses annually. And this year we've seen a huge increase in a need for our service, but an even bigger increase of people right now during the COVID, of people wanting to adopt. Our adoptions are up almost double right now, which is amazing. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Here to the left is our main retraining facility, which we're going to drive back over there once we stop at the rehab barn. And over here to the right is where are the paddocks that we use for the horses that are on rehab. So one of the number one reasons why a horse retires from racing is normally due to some type of injury, whether it's a muscle strain or a minor weakness, or something as major as something fractured, a broken leg that requires surgery. We see it all. And so, you know, a lot of the injuries that horses sustain at the racetrack are able to be rehabbed, and then the horses can continue into a second career, and that's where we come in. So here we're going to pull into the Williams barn. And this is one of the barns that is an older barn that was built here for Meris Farm. It's one of the historical barns. One of my favorite. The inside's all wood. It's just beautiful. And we have 20 stalls in this barn. We're just going to take a quick peek in there just to give you an idea of what goes on over here. Okay, so we're walking into the Williams barn, and like I said, this is where we keep horses that are coming off the track and into our program that need some time before we start to work with them on the transitional training side. Right now, the majority of them are turned out, so you'll see lots of empty stalls. Our nice little barn kitty. We have one guy here. Every day's a holiday. He's taking a little nap. Hey, buddy. He just had a minor surgery to his left hind leg. You can see it's wrapped there. Not anything major. He just needs to be over here for probably about a month, and then he'll come back over to the other side. Like I said, there's 20 stalls in this barn, and we typically keep it full. Right now is the first time that we haven't been full, simply because we've had so many adoptions that we have empty stalls for the first time. Walking out here during the day, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a couple horses out here. The horses go out during the day in these paddocks, and they're able to stretch their legs. Lots of green grass right now. You can see there's some little paddocks here that have like an all-weather footing. That's where we start many of the horses before they come over, or before they go out to full turnout. We kind of want to keep an eye on them. Many of them that are coming off of surgery, we don't want them to do too much too soon. So they go out in those smaller paddocks, and once they show that they can behave outside and not run around like a crazy horse, then they can go out into the bigger fields. So you can see there's a handful out right now. And then this larger field has about 20 of Meris Farm horses that are permanently retired and will live the rest of their lives here, which is pretty cool. Okay, we'll get back in and go over to the training side. Do we have any questions yet? Okay. You can see it's a beautiful rainy day. At least we've got a little bit of a break. directly across the street there, you can see there's like a little barn, a run-in shed. Those fields are part of our training side, and we have over 150 acres of pasture for the horses, which is all the land that is on a free lease from the Susan Donaldson Foundation to New Vocations. We're very, very blessed and fortunate to have that partnership. And those horses that go out in those fields normally go out all night, and then they come in during the day so our team can work with them on their transitional training. I just love the old stone walls here too. So it's very nice having the Williams barn so close. There's often times where we'll have a horse come in that we think is ready for training. It lands on the training side. We find out maybe it needs a little bit more time before we start training, and we just simply walk it across the street to the other side, and vice versa. As soon as the horses are ready and have been rehabbed and are at the Williams barn, we just walk them right across the street here to the training side of the farm. So now we're entering our training side of the farm. We keep anywhere from 30 to 40 horses in transitional training at any given time here. We also are starting to open up and expand into some new land that we have behind these barns here. Up here is our office. Our crew is slowly starting to come back and working in the office. The majority of us were working from home for the last 2 months. So for anyone that's applied to adopt from us or has adopted from us, all of our paperwork and everything is managed through there. And up here are some more all-weather paddocks that we use for horses that we don't want to put out in the larger fields yet. We want to kind of keep an eye on them. Many of them where the horses are coming straight from the track, just trying to get them used to being outside, because many of them are not used to being outside, or it's been a long time, because at the track they're in their stalls about 23 hours a day. So this is kind of like their starter fields. Great question, Michelle. What's the definition of transitional training? The definition is, so thoroughbreds that are retiring from the track, they have been trained. They have a lot of training, actually. They've been broke to ride, and so it's not that we're training, starting them from scratch when they come here, but we call it transitional training because they're learning. We're going from them learning how to be a racehorse to transitioning into being a riding horse. So that's why we call it transitional training. So it's more of a transition, and there's definitely a lot of things that we do teach them that they don't know, but we take them from what they were taught at the track and help them learn what they can do into a second career, which can be a lot of different things. Anywhere from show jumping to dressage to trail riding to polo. You name it, they can do it. Okay, so we're going to walk into the Whirlwind Poppy barn. Oh, I forgot my paperwork. Hold on. Out here you can see some of the fields. These are the fields that the horses in this barn go out into during the evening and during the day, some of them during the day. Apologies, you have to see my car again. Okay, back into the Whirlwind Poppy barn. Just wanted to introduce you to some of the horses that we have right now in the program. Give you a little bit of their history, give you an idea of what we get, and then we're going to go into the indoor arena and see some of them trained. Here's some cute faces. Now all of these guys are either just starting training or have been in training and are up for adoption, and a couple of them have already been adopted and are waiting to be picked up. One of them I wanted to really look at is this new horse that just came in yesterday. His name's Dark Code. Here, buddy. Absolutely stunning, this guy. He's not showing us his best side. Come on, bud. Dark Code is by Honor Code. He's an unraced 3-year-old. This beautiful face. He just came up from Florida, which is why he looks so good with his short summer coat. He came from Todd Pletcher's barn. And yeah, he's very quiet. He just got here, like I said, yesterday. Traveled all the way out from Florida. So he'll be one that's going out in those little lots and then transitioning into a larger field. Then we got Indian Companion. He's been here with us for a while. He's one that spent some time over at the Williams barn for rehab. He actually is a war horse. He raced 67 times. And his breeder, which is Denali Farm, which is also part of the Horse Country Tours, was their breeder, and they contacted us when they learned that he was ready to retire to see if we'd be willing to take him. He's currently available on our website, which is newvocations.org. You can see all his information. We also have Homedell, who is a son of Medaglidora, also another Horse Country Tours, John Adele Farm. We actually have 3 Medaglidora's sons right now, which in general have always been really nice horses to work with. He was trained by Karen McLaughlin, and he last raced at Belmont Park. And then across the hall here, we have his, well, we wouldn't really call him a brother in the horse world, but in human world we would. He's also by Medaglidora, has the same sire. And he's 5 years old and raced 7 times. Both of these guys just started transitional training, so they're not up for adoption quite yet. Over here we have 502. He's actually a horse that we've had in the program a couple times, and he was returned. And that's one of the things that we do promote, that if for some reason someone adopts a horse from us and it doesn't, for whatever reason, suit them, or their life changes, or for any circumstance that they need to rehome it, the horses are always welcome to come back to us, and we just put them back through the program again and find them another home. We have London House over here, cute white face. Hey, bud. Looks like he's going to need sunscreen here soon. He's a horse that came from New York through the Take the Lead program, which is the Horsemen's group up in New York. And he ended up having a knee injury that required some surgery. And he had surgery done by Dr. Patty Hogan, and then arrived over at the Williams barn and spent his rehab there. And he just came over here a couple weeks ago and started his transitional training. For those that like chrome, he also has 4 white socks. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Who else we got here? Spanish Treasure, our 3rd Medaglidora son. He's a very, very big boy. Also came over from Godolphin Stables, and he is starting transitional training as well. I don't know if you can see how big he is compared to the other guy next to him. Pretty big difference. And then Designed for War. He's a war front who stands over at Claiborne Farm. He's 8 years old. And he also is one that was returned to us. And he is in transitional training and will be going up, he's being reevaluated in training and will be going back up for adoption soon. He's got a very cute white face too. Oh, he says hello. And then down here we've got a couple girls, a couple mares. Eartha here, she arrived last week. She's one of our newer ones. She's taken a nice nap. Okay, well, that's here in the barn. We're going to move out to the indoor arena, meet our trainer, and see just a little bit of what they do on the training side. See some of our fields. We've got a great fishing pond down there. Way in the back is our new land that we're expanding out to and adding pasture. Do we have any questions? I'd be curious where everybody is watching from. If you're interested, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear if you're from what state, what city. It'd be great to know where everyone's tuning in today from. Okay, we're walking into the indoor right now. So on nicer weather, we do the training outside, but on cold, windy days, rainy days, we have this great facility to use. Oh, Nashville, Ontario, great. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
So here is Leandra Cooper. She's our facility trainer and director, and Julie is on top. Who we have here?
This is Cole Stomer.
Oh, I don't know. We've got to use, sorry. We have a new microphone we got to share.
Hi. I'll just hold that.
Okay.
This is Cole. I just got all of that on. Thank you for sharing that. Gesundheit, buddy. That's Cole Stomer. He is a 4-year-old gelding. We actually just put him up on our website today. So he is brand new to being available for adoption, but he had 8 starts and $19,000 in earnings, so not too bad for just a few starts. And he came to us without any known injuries, so he's basically been a turnkey project for us in just getting him up to speed with transitioning from a more race-oriented training style to adapting his skill sets to a different discipline so he could be successful in a career off the track. Julie, I can convey what you're saying if you want, because I don't know if the microphone will pick you up, but what do you think about how he rides?
He's one of my favorites in the barn right now.
One of her favorites in the barn.
Ever since the first ride, he's just been like super willing, and he'll do anything you ask of him. He has a really nice natural head carriage and 3 really nice gaits.
So I don't know if anybody can hear that. So it's she said he's been a really good, easygoing guy to work with so far, and he has a nice natural head carriage.
He is more of a push ride.
He's more of a push ride.
What else would you like to know about him?
Anyway, let's stretch your stuff, Coles.
Leandra can tell us a little bit more about the training side of things that we do here.
Sure. So when the horses come, the first thing that they get used to is just our routine, which can be a little bit different from their routine on the track, obviously, and the social environment of getting used to being in turnout, getting used to having new buddies in turnout, and different schedules for turnout. So I think you already went up past the round pen, so we often start them there. Cole's, as we call him in the barn, has already gone through that process, and so now goes out during the day with another horse. During that time, we start them as they're getting used to, as they seem like they've sort of crossed the hump of the learning curve of just coming here, and after their orientation sort of phase, we start them in groundwork generally, and then work our way up to work under saddle. So at this point, he has developed his walk, trot, and canter, and that's generally what we're looking for them to be able to go around in a relaxed and calm manner at the walk, trot, and canter before we'll get a video of them and pictures, so then they are at that point ready to go up online. So Coles has met all those milestones, and with flying colors, he's been a pretty easygoing project for us just to get up to that point. He has a really nice disposition, and although he raced fairly recently, he has a really good work ethic and a good mindset. So he's one of the ideal easy cases of taking the horse through that process of retraining, and now we're on to the rehoming side of things.
So we have people watching all the way from Hawaii.
Oh, aloha.
South California.
That's amazing. Hello to everyone. We're excited just to be at a point in our season where we can open up all the doors in the indoor here. It makes it feel a lot larger, but it also presents new challenges for the horses when they're in training, because then they are getting used to seeing all these images of things going on in the full horizon, basically, as they go through all these different doors. Then we can kind of see how well they're staying focused when they're in work. And you can see Coles is pretty unfazed by it, so he's been a really good horse, good mental mindset.
I've got a question about volunteers. Do we utilize volunteers?
Yeah, we have volunteers. Generally, we enlist their help for big events like our horse show that we do in September. We definitely rely on a volunteer base for that, and then every once in a while we have opportunities at the barn where we'll host volunteers to help out with different tasks. So yeah, certainly we have volunteers situationally, but we have a pretty small staff here, so we're not able to take volunteers all the time, but we do try to. We definitely appreciate them for the different times when we can use them.
How long do you let down a horse if he or she is sound?
We generally try to keep him in work. So there are a lot of different parts of letting down a horse, and I guess people could think about it differently. So if they've raced pretty recently, and again, we treat every horse on an individual basis, so this certainly varies, but a horse like him, we don't have any committed time just to letting down. Like I said, we have a transitional period of a week or two where they're just getting used to the surroundings, but if they've been in work, we keep them in a light work, and that might be just groundwork and then building them back up in our transitional training process. But really everything that we're doing with them is very light and is not really tedious on their body. So as far as like a physical letdown, we want them to stay conditioned and not get totally out of whack, because again, we're trying to showcase how they're going to be as a riding partner, since we focus on horses who have a good prognosis for riding careers after the track. So we're going to have to show them in their under the light of being a riding horse, so it works to our benefit to be able to keep them in some sort of shape, but it's a lot easier than what they've been asked before. So they are still getting a letdown, but it's not a complete vacation style, don't do anything sort of letdown, though some people prefer to do that once the horse is adopted and they know that they've had that continued work and have worked on that transitional mindset, so that they'll have that same mental muscle memory. Then some adopters choose to give them that vacation style total letdown, just keep them in turnout for a month or two at their own place. So that depends on the person, of course, and there can be benefits all around. Some horses we do have to give just a mental vacation, but again, we really work on an individualized basis here.
Where are all your facilities located?
We have facilities in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, and Louisiana.
Great. Okay. Well, in closing, if you don't have any other questions, we'd love to tell you how everyone that's watching can help. You can see on our wall here some of our sponsors. We definitely could not do what we do without the support of our sponsors and our private donors and our grants that we receive. And so if you're interested in supporting us financially, go to our website at newvocations.org, and you can click on donate and see all the different areas of where you can give. Secondly, if you're watching this and you want to share it on your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, that really helps us out. It helps us spread the word on what we're doing. So we would love to have everyone share, whether it's this video or anything that we post on our website or on our social media platforms. That's extremely helpful. And last but not least, if you'd like to adopt, if you're in the market for a new horse, please visit our website at newvocations.org, and you'll get to meet all of our adoptable horses, which changes on a daily basis right now. We're having a lot of adoptions. As of right now, we've had 41 adoptions in the month of May. So we're right on track to maybe hitting 60 again this month, which is amazing. So with that said, we will sign off, and if you want to continue to watch us on our daily meet and greets, those are at noon, Monday through Saturday. If not, we'll be back here at 1 o'clock next week.